I'm Ray.
I'm Candace.
Welcome to Unpacking Coffee. This week,
Linea out of San Francisco.
we've actually already covered Linea.
Very much like the graphic. Feel free to chime in at any time, Candace. These are roasted.
It was time to go back and revisit Linea for at least two good reasons. One, we didn't actually get the founder on the show last time.
This time we did.
This time we did.
I'm Andrew Barnett. I'm the founder of Linea Coffee Roasting, and we're based out of San Francisco.
They're even in residence at the Marzocco Home Cafe.
Tested 1, 2,
Thank
3,
you, Scott.
4.
I could tell this is not your first.
Not my first rodeo. Hi, I'm Scott Callender, and I'm from La Marzocco. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Consumer Strategy.
Andrew and Scott had worked together before at Echo, the experimental coffee company.
I don't think Echo is experimental.
No, that's what it stands for, Experimental Coffee Company.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
I just learned that when we were talking. How do we start this story? Take it away, gents.
When I was a young man, I trained to be a dinner chef. And my neighborhood coffee shop, I thought, well, I can use my cooking skills at the coffee shop and make espresso. I really want this job. I'll say, I can learn. They taught me, and they had a 2-group lever machine, and that brought me great joy, making espresso. So that was 1977. 1994, I opened my first cafe in Sonoma County, California. I was an aspiring wannabe coffee owner, cafe owner, and I asked a mentor of mine, actually David Schomer. And I said, David, what espresso machine should I buy for my cafe? And David just said, buy a La Marzocco Linea. So I did. That was my first espresso machine. My first cafe was a Linea, not a Linea. My current cafe has a Linea, and I love those machines. So this is the 25th anniversary of my love affair with La Marzocco. So it's, I think, apropos that this company, Linea, is doing its roaster in residency program. Linea literally translates into line. And when you go to Origin, when you pick a coffee cherry, the fruit around it, when it's ripe, when it's hit its peak of maturation and you were to bite into that fruit surrounding the seed, it tastes really good. The best tasting coffees I've ever experienced are from really sweet, ripened fruit. Just like making great wine, you need good tasting fruit to make delicious coffee.
One of the things that first attracted me to his coffee is this idea that he's so obsessed with the flavor and getting everything right.
I'm a bit of a Virgo, that's my sign. I obsess on things. I actually dream about coffee. I think it's a kind of my blessing and my curse.
We would have these long conversations on the phone about like all of this obsession, all of this like roasting to a certain level and finding the perfect fruit and all of those things. Is anyone going to be able to tell? And he would always say, can you tell when you bite into a perfectly ripe frog hollow peach that this is something unique? And I'd always be like, absolutely, it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. And he's like, that's what we should be striving for with coffee.
What I'm attracted to, and I think, is inherently sweet flavors and expressing what's already there in the nature and capturing that and getting that into the coffee.
Moments that I've had that are some of my highlights of all time, best coffees of my life, have been with Andrew, tasting one of those coffees that's just like mind-blowingly sweet.
So I thought part of the Linea at our shop is kind of the continuation of these different aspects, not only the fruit, the sweetness of the fruit to the cup, but also that relationship.
That's right. It's all just comes together.
No, don't.
No, see, I said don't.
Well, and how can Ricky Gervais get away with that and I can't?
He does not.
Andrew Barnett roasts in an Italian roasting style from a very specific region.
I happen to like a style of roasting which some people describe as a northern Italian style. If you go further to the south, the coffee typically is roasted darker.
Dark, yeah.
And as you move up Italy, the coffees are roasted lighter. Trieste, Italy is an area kind of the Linea Caffe, my former company Echo, I would say pays homage to. And it's a style of roasting it's not oily on the surface, it's not a super bright coffee, but it's lighter than most.
They just redesigned their packaging.
Oh yeah! There you go. Classic humanist typefaces. Influenced by the writings on color of Joseph Abers and also by the classic design of penguin book covers.
In the past, the bags were craft bags, and they had their logo on the front, but it was really hard to tell what coffee was in the bag without a shelf talker or turning it around. I think they've solved actually a lot of issues that they had originally. Now you can see what's in the bag, which is kind of exciting.
The same on the shelf, which is great. I think they basically had maybe 2 different colored stickers now.
Yeah.
Now it's the actual belly band. I think it's
The logo is simplified too.
Yeah.
Cafe's gone. I mean, there's still a cafe.
That cafe is adorable, it's tiny, and the coffee's good. So if you're ever in San Francisco.
Do you say Linea or Linea?
Linea.
Because I asked Andrew to get very specific about the answer to this.
So there are people that say, you say tomato, tomato, and it's like potato, potato. So Scott could probably tell you how Linea say it in Italy. Is it Linea?
Yeah. So it depends on what part of Italy. This is like a big debate Andrew and I have had for years.
Okay, this is all we argue about.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to talk about that Linea thing again? So there's part of Italy where they say Linea, there's a part of Italy where they say Linea. So it really does, it just depends. And then it's also kind of brings up this weird debate around how do Americans say foreign words? Should they say them in the mother tongue? Should they attempt that? Or should they say them like Americans, right? Yeah. And, I think always when I talk to someone from the Bay Area, they say Linea. And I think for the most part, we call our machine the Linea Mini or the Linea Classic. We don't say Linea. So,
The correct version is the one that I'm saying.
What are you saying?
Linea.
Linea.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Linea.
Linea.
Why do you keep saying that? That's not what I say.
If our guests walk in the cafe and I say either is correct. However, my wife, she'll probably hate me for saying this, but she'll say, you have to say, which is the right way. You can't just kind of waffle on this.
Linea.
Linea.
So,
yeah.
but I'll continue to waffle. So Scott and I have been working on something.
Yeah. I was actually wondering if we should make it into 2 episodes, one about the
No.
Linea Caffe.
Linea Caffe
Of
out of San Francisco. Shit.
Well, can we go another 10 minutes to talk about why people should need more design their websites if they want to they want to have happiness in their
We'll
life?
just overdub
Kind
that
of
part.
so
I
kind
know.
of like the voiceover, kind of, or maybe subliminal. They're kind of like a little voice in the back.
Views need more for website.